Okay, it's the morning of the race. How are you feeling?
Nervous but excited.
How's the weather?
It's overcast, it's going to rain, it's going to be pissing down all day.
How's the body?
Old, but it'll be right. I've done a lot of stretching and rolling this morning and rolled on the nut butter and all the anti-chafe stuff.
What do you think, Leo?
Feed.
Good.
Good. Yeah. What do you think about what Daddy's going to do? 10,000 steps.
Awesome.
All right. Have a good time, Daddy. We'll see you out there.
Thank you. All right, on the way to the start line now. Quite busy, people everywhere. Going to be a big event. Bit nervous, but I guess nervous but excited.
Oh, good morning.
5K's in, travelling all right. Finally got some steps. I was worried we wouldn't get any steps for a minute there. That's it.
Just have the photo, hey? Yeah. Jesus.
There we go, guys. What do you reckon?
Pretty good.
UTA 100, powered by V Fuel. 10% of the way in. Woohoo! Okay, 11 or 12k in, travelling alright. Nothing's really too sore or anything like that, which is good. Had quite a lot of stairs, so as expected, tried to keep the heart rate down a bit. It probably got away a little bit, but been taking it pretty easy since. So just aim is to keep that heart rate down, keep fueled, keep hydrated, try and avoid getting too sore too early on. So yeah, on track for around about 16 hours hopefully. So yep, thanks. nearly 21k in. What are we, 2 hours 50, travelling alright. Here's Jonathan. How you doing, buddy? Still doing alright. Let's have a look around, see what we're doing. Cool. Lost it. Just tried to call my wife. No mobile reception. 27k in, 3 hours 52. Running a little bit behind target pace, but sort of hit the wall a bit, ran out of a bit of energy, so lucky I had 2 protein bars in the bag, so took those. How are you travelling?
All right.
Yeah, bit of GoPro time.
Yeah. We seen you all from the start.
Yeah. I think time to get a bit of a run in. not that exciting here, but anyway, get a few k's over. 5k to next aid station at the 32k mark. Pretty good to see the family there. Alright, 31.2k in. I think I'm actually a bit further than that. The watch doesn't seem to be counting as quick as what trail markers are. How am I? Fuck, I'm stiff. Bit sore in the knee, hip. It'll be alright. I'll get through it. Probably not. Didn't do enough running training that I would have liked. It's alright, I'm going to finish this. Just might change the time. Oh, fuck. Might change the time target a little bit. Going from 16, back it off down to 18. Hopefully feel happy. Not too injured. Fuck. Whew, 35k in. Feeling a little bit less sorry for myself. Had a fair bit of fuel. Cramp is setting in a little bit. Right adductor. It's not a good sign. Just taking it easy for a bit now. Keep the heart rate down. It's gotten a bit high. Keep fueled. See the wife and kids shortly. It's pretty hot there through here. We went up a steep hill before. It took quite a few people out. My mate Lockie, he overtook me earlier on about 10-11k in. Unfortunately, he was down with cramp at the top of that hill. Hopefully he goes alright. He's a fit little unit, so he'll be right, I'm sure. I gave him some cramp fix. Hopefully that does the trick for him. But I better take a bit more of that myself before this cramp gets too bad. I don't know if it works, but it's worth a crack, isn't it? What do you reckon? Note to future self, don't sign up for this. Cramps are coming in, the adductors. I don't know how far we are. 38 k's, got a fair way to go. Good to have some extra supporters. That's it, thank you. Alright, 54k in, maybe 55, something like that. Haven't ran as well as I would have liked today. Knees playing up, I'm just sore and stiff. Haven't done enough long runs, I think. Guts are playing up, having a hard time eating, keeping food down, like I feel on the verge of vomiting. So, got to remember this stuff if you want to sign up for 100k and you want to run it. Anyway, that's right, I'm going to settle in, gonna finish. Not gonna, I've thought about pulling out, but I'm not going to pull out. Gonna finish. Looking forward to seeing the family soon again at the aquatic centre. What else have I got to say? Yeah, not a lot at the moment. It's probably going to rain soon. That's pretty exciting, isn't it? So the fleece jumper and the waterproof pants are supposed to be at checkpoint 6. I was planning on leaving there a bit after 7. Problem is, by checkpoint 4, I think you have to lead by 4. Otherwise you need that mandatory gear, and I don't have that mandatory gear in my drop bags there, because I was expecting to be in about 45 minutes earlier than what I will be. So I think Lorna's gone out to checkpoint 6, which is, I think it's a bit of a challenge because there's no parking there. She might have to get on the bus with the kids, unfortunately. Feel a bit bad about that, but she's going to get my, here comes the rain, she's going to get my pants and my fleece jumper, meet me at the next checkpoint, which hopefully I get there soon. After just about coming into Aquatic Centre, checkpoint 4, back into town, which is great. Thanks for that. Cheers, buddy. Good support out here. Be good to finish. Alright, Lockie, we've got a situation, okay? Now, you're going to have to explain what this situation is.
Alright, so it's all pandemonium here. We're at checkpoint 4. The rain just came through pretty quickly, and none of us, a lot of us don't have wet weather gears on us. So no leaving until you get wet weather gears on you.
Yeah. And we happen to be behind schedule. We weren't expecting to be here this time. So we've got all the gear we need, but it's at checkpoint 6, and unfortunately my wife went to checkpoint 5 to go and get the gear. I did write it down, but I'm not going to blame her at all. She's doing a lot of running around with the kids. It's my fault as well, but I had running brain, ultra brain, which doesn't work too well. So race directors here have said no leaving until we get our gear, no matter how we do it. And I don't know what the options are, but luckily my wife's also going to look after Lockie here by picking his up as well.
Thank you. Actually, it's a bit of a blessing in disguise. We needed a bit of a rest time, so this is good. Yeah.
Anyway, let's have a bit of a look around. See, might as well use this time to see what's going on in checkpoint 4 at the Aquatic Centre. There's a bit going on. A bit of a shortage on chairs, but there's plenty of food. Let's have a look what's at the aid stations. Let's have a look. We've got Mark, we've got chips, gels, salt. I heard there's salt. I heard there's salt pills somewhere. There is salt. Alright. Hot tea and coffee, soup. There's some salt pills somewhere, were there? Some salt pills, were there?
Salt.
Yeah. Alright, Mr. GoPro, you can go. Sorry, but it's dark. Going to be dark out there. Won't see much of you, but hopefully I get through this. Okay, a bit of a debrief on the UTA 100. I ended up finishing at the 70k mark. I decided to pull the pin there. As you can see from the video, not everything was going perfectly, which it never does in 100k's. I've done a couple of them now, and you're always going to be sore. There's always going to be things going on. So the knee did get pretty sore. It was getting more and more sore, and yeah, I've been in that situation before where I've ran 100k mountainous events, and I've seen it through despite pain and struggling to run and walk, finished at all costs. So what happened in the past when I pushed myself through that is I couldn't really walk stairs or run or do anything really involving my knee for a good month or more afterwards. So what I decided is to stop at the 70k mark and, you know, live to fight another day. I do think I could have finished, but yeah, it would have been a bit of suffering, and I would have been putting further training at risk with the knee. So I am booked in for surgery. I'll probably delay it a while, see how we go. But basically, yeah, yeah, I'm happy with the decision I made. So a little bit disappointed I didn't finish, but I'm happy with the decision I made. I've already had 3 more runs this week, which has been good. If I had have done the last 30 Ks, which there was a hell of a lot of stairs coming up, I definitely would have had a rough time. I probably would have been limping through, and I've learnt from the past, you know, basically you don't necessarily have to finish at all costs as long as you really think about your decisions and you're happy with what decision you made. So, you know, I was aiming for a 16-hour finish, which is, I think I would have been pretty happy with that. In the first 30, 40K, I probably fell behind. Just, you know, I would have been on track for maybe 17 hours, which was still okay, but yeah, it was clear that the training I'd done in the weeks leading up to it probably wasn't quite enough. So I did a huge amount of vert in February. I did 500 Ks and 43,000 metres of vert over 4 weeks in Feb, and the majority of that was in the last 3 weeks of that month. So, and then I got a bit excited that I was running again, and I went back to one of the hills that I'd done in Feb, where I'd done a lot of reps that month before. Decided, well, I don't need to go and do a huge amounts of vert. Let's try and go for a PB. I sprinted up the hill. I definitely got my PB. It was one of maybe the 3rd fastest anyone's gone up that hill in Strava. So I was pretty happy with myself, but then I got home and the hamstring was quite sore. I think I strained the tendon or muscle in that hamstring, which plagued me for the next 4 weeks. So I was running maybe 50K a week in that time, if that even, which wasn't enough for UTA. Went up to Buffalo towards the end of March, did okay there as a practice run. Then got a few weeks of running in, but not enough long back-to-backs. So I also got pretty crook about 3 or 4 weeks out before UTA, which was a critical time. I strained a hip flexor, I believe it was, and I also probably had a cold or something that just dragged on for quite a few weeks. I tested for COVID, it was negative, so, but all that probably saw me, I was averaging about 50K a week and not a lot of long runs in between the end of February and the start of May. And especially those few weeks coming up, I should have been doing a lot more. So what that meant was in UTA, I probably felt the fatigue around that 30-40K mark that I would have liked to have felt a little bit later on, even though I was trying to manage my effort. That's okay. So obviously I was an hour behind, lost 2 hours at the aid station due to waiting for Lorna, so I was 3 hours behind where I was planning to be. Had the knee playing up, was feeling like shit. Due to stomach issues with nutrition, which just sometimes things don't go down as well as you'd like when you're running a lot. And yeah, once I got going from the 57K mark, I was pissing down rain. Knee was getting sore. I made it to the 70K mark, and I knew from there I had obviously 30 more Ks, over 2,000 metres more vert, which was nearly all stairs. I knew once I got down into the valley, past I think around the 70-something K mark, that there was no turning back. There were no more aid stations down there. There was no turnaround points. So once I was down there, I was committed on a dodgy knee. I thought, no, I'd better pull the pin there. So I did that, pulled the pin. And yeah, I've ran I've ran 3 times this week, which I wouldn't have been doing if I finished. So I've had some soreness in the quads. My knees have still been sore. A bit of an adductor issue, but all in all, pretty good. So next week I should build further again on this week, and I've got a new goal in mind, which is Surf Coast Century in September. So I'll be doing another 100K event there. It's not as challenging. It's more flat. Maybe 2,000 metres of vert, not so many stairs. I've done the event before. I did 15 hours, just over 15 hours 3 years ago nearly. So this time around I'll be aiming for maybe 13-hour mark, which would be a great improvement, and I'd be really happy with that. The knee, I believe, will make it through that event, so that's why I'm delaying the surgery until later in the year. If I want to do some long mountainous events, I'll probably do need that surgery to give myself the best chance, but I don't really want to stop and have a long period of recovery now when I'm still running the more flat stuff pretty well. And anyway, the rest of the holiday was great. It was a road trip with the family, wife and our 2 boys. We drove up and kids had a lot of great fun, and so did I, and we drove back in 2 days and we stopped and saw a few things on the way home, so really great. And yeah, all in all, as I said, slightly disappointed I didn't finish, but I don't regret the decision. I'm happy with that. It was still 70 k's in the mountains in a beautiful place, and I'll go back there and do it again and finish it next time. Probably not next year, maybe the year after. So